So this is John of Coach.Win. I'm sitting here with Sridhar from Ebiz Solutions. And Sridhar, yesterday we were doing our intro to activating AI, and you brought up an interesting analogy about going to the right kind of doctor. Can you just tell a little bit about how going to the right kind of doctor is also kind of like making sure you're using the right AI, and just how that sounds? Just share the story or that analogy.
Sure. I mean, just like you do anything else, when you want to go to the right fit for what you need. So similarly, we have so many AI today. So some of them are just for content. Some of them are managing processes, right? So you can't think about all AI is one AI. It's not just ChatGPT or just Claude or Amazon. So there are multiple facets. So before you want to dig into AI, you want to write down what is the context, what is the problem you're trying to solve, or what is the opportunity you're trying to get into.
Okay.
And then write a context and see which of these AI models will fit that context, right? So for example, if you are trying to get a marketing plan together, all of the big ones like Claude and ChatGPT or even Google Gemini will be good. But it's good to try all three and see how they interact, and you can use one of them against the other one to get yours. But those are like available publicly, right? But also they have their own models that you take internally and you say, okay, I want to fix my process, but that process could be in the manufacturing. And then you will think about, okay, do I want to use Meta's Llama model because it is trained in a different way than what GPT is trained, versus how Google is trained. So you need to understand this model. That's why like consultants are needed for those kind of changes, because they understand the models and how the models work. Or like, for example, the Amazon Q or something.
Okay. So if I just think it as a business owner, business strategy. So obviously, if you're a business owner, let's say you own your own building, and you're thinking, okay, I have a problem I want to solve. I just want to keep this simple and not talk. But if it's an HVAC problem like heating and cooling, I'm calling my HVAC expert, versus if it's by something with my parking lot and concrete, we're calling concrete, versus electrical, I'm calling electrical. As you as a consultant, you hear the problem from a business owner, and then say, hey, based on that, we should probably look at either maybe Amazon Q or Google Gemini in that situation, because that they're kind of trained in that area. They perform better.
Yeah.
Versus having an electrician come out to fix an HVAC problem, which might be Copilot in that situation. It's not designed to fix that. Is that what you're saying? Is like picking the right
to that model
AI vendor to say,
Yeah.
because it's kind of like your HVAC vendor or your electrician vendor or your plumbing vendor. That AI partner is going to be your partner to work that through. The consultant is the expert that can kind of choose which one to go and then actually execute it too, of course.
One thing to caution is this: AI is changing so fast. All these things are also trying to fight with each other to get the market, right? So right now, like, they're good in something, but tomorrow they could be good in another thing too. So that's why, like, people like us, that we are continuously working with these vendors and understanding what are the training and which direction they're going. We can quickly help companies understand, hey, you need to go with this model because this model is well trained in this area, well tested. So it will be much faster for you to accomplish your goal, right? And because AI is so fast moving right now, it is very, very difficult to hit on the target. So we will be continuously tweaking. Either we tweak a model or we change the model. But if we understand the concept of how AI works, and we need to build the culture in the company of how to work with AI, then how we are doing things. Because with AI, we do things differently. We have to see things differently, right? We can't, and we have to act differently than what we are doing today.
Okay. One of the other things you said yesterday, kind of going to that act differently in that AI, is in the past, we talked about a problem of like OCR and digitizing and putting it in. We would have created a custom program, a custom software development program. You said it might have taken a year, which is always funny because a lot of us that have been in business for a long time realize, like, software is pretty common. Like, they say it's 6 month and $100,000 plan on 12 months and $200,000 because people don't know what they don't know. But you actually talked about you weren't creating when this new solution, because you're using AI now, you weren't creating a custom software program. You were training an AI to do the work. So just what are the different, like explain that difference in simple terms, like the custom software solution versus training an AI.
Yeah. So that's a great question. The first thing in the custom software, you all think this is how it should work and you start working on it. As we are moving into the journey, you figure out, oh, we forgot to add this. Okay, that means I have to go back and add the code. You have to actually code to take that new use case that you have added, which we never thought about it. So that's why you always see a traditional software development takes much longer, much expensive than what it intended, because you don't understand initially, which is fine. And that's how they used agile methodology and all to minimize, but still it's there. With AI, we are taking a model and model knows everything. What we are doing is we are tuning the model and we're training the model. It's only training. So let's say like the OCR thing, if we had like 500 different type of invoices, we train them all the 500 types. Hey, this is what you need to look in this invoice at this place. We are not coding. We're training and telling what data point it has to look and how would it look like. And so suddenly you have a new client and their invoice is different. All you're saying is, okay, now you try, hey, I have a new one, and this is I need to train you with it. It is how the data points would look, and it's probably top left is now top right is where you want to see the invoice number.
So in that situation, if you were in the old software world and you created it for your 10 customers, you created a custom software on their 10 types of invoices, and then you landed an 11th, a 12th, and a 13th customer in the software programming world, you'd literally have to go back into the code.
Yep.
And
rewrite
the code, and hopefully it doesn't break your other
things you have done
already done for your other first 10 customers. And that's where that custom software always gets challenging as new solutions, because new customers create new challenges. And this say you just go back in and train, hey, this is invoice number 11, and this is where you go see it. You're just training it, so it's a much quicker adjustment process.
Yeah, but the one thing we have to be cautious is the training. The AI gets better and better the more data you train. The more invoices you show, it gets much better, and it immediately understands, oh, this is how I need to read an invoice. This is how I need to read the invoice number. I need to read each line item like this, right? Quantity like this, right? So price like this, quantity, price per quantity or full quantity. So the more you show, you're only showing and training quickly, and it is the next one you show, it will tell what it is. And then if there's a change, that's where we call supervised learning. We go to train, hey, you did it right. The thumbs up or thumbs down, hey, you need to fix this, right? You're not coding anything. You're just saying it that you saw it wrong. You need to see in a different way. So it takes a little bit of time, but it becomes so good at it.
I think it's fun. I think yesterday we came up with some other ones for doing like lease abstracts and doing and pulling and looking over contracts and RFPs. And I like what you just said there. You're training it. By the way, I think somebody else said it in the room, but it's just like training a new employee. Like you bring a new employee in, they don't do it perfectly the first time, the third time, the fifth time. You're always continually training them. And then when an unusual invoice comes through and they're supposed to code it this way onto an Excel, they didn't realize it. That training time is just with an AI. You're just doing the same thing. It's just training time, whether it's a new employee or training the AI. Then the good thing is the AI is learning really fast.
I like your analogy, because think about a human versus AI. If you think about AI as a human, the more things you expose to a human, they understand better this. So it's more practice. That means you're exposing them. So if you are in behind a counter in a hotel, you need to think how many times somebody might be shouting and coming, and somebody might be drunk. But first time when you get it, you don't know how to react to it. Somebody trains you there. Hey, this is how you need to react. In the similar way, we are training the AI to all the kind of possibilities that could happen, like you're training an employee, right? The moment and the employee gets like 10 times, they see the drunken person coming in, they're much more better at the 11th person. They can quickly recognize and respond and do the right thing. But it's a similar thing. The more kind of same things, repeatedly you're showing the same thing and trying, hey, this is what you need, the outcome should be, the better it becomes.
That's awesome. And that, going back to the data and the OCR and the repetition. So if somebody's getting ready to, they want to automate, they want to do these invoices, they want to handle calls and inbound things better, having their data, not necessarily digitally available, but just in a place that you as a consultant can say, okay, show me your 500 types of invoices. Just start thinking about where's my data.
Yeah.
Literally in the OCR, it was paper.
Paper. Yeah.
Right. But we still had to have access to the paper to train, because the more you have,
Yeah.
the better to train this.
It could be in any
thing.
format. It could be in a Word. It could be in a PDF. It could be in Excel. It could be have different data sources. The beauty about AI is you could have your answer in 5 different sources. You can train to go and look at all 5 different sources, but just give me one summarized of how I need to fix this, right? That is the beauty. The only problem now we have is a lot of people have their knowledge in their head.
Yes.
We need to get it out of their head somewhere. It has to be some format other than your head. So that's what a lot of people are struggling to now.
Yeah. But that actually is another great thing that we've, I think, shared together and came up with is, I know as a business owner for, 25 plus years, and a lot of my other ones in the entrepreneurs organization and business and my coaches that I strategize, I'm like, you now literally have the opportunity to somewhat download your brain in the sense of you're training a new employee. Let's say you're in field services and you're a lawn and landscape person or a tree person, an arborist, and you want to train that new salesperson or train that new field person, and you go out to the field and you're like, hey, what do you see when you're looking at the trees or the ground? Or what do you see if you're a plumber or an electrician? And they go, well, I see that maybe that area needs to be, but you're noticing as the experienced person, 10 other things. If you can record and capture those 10 questions that you ask, you could actually put it in some kind of bot or some kind of thing where now the new rookie that's out there can literally, and my name's John, right? Ask John, hey, this is what I see walking this video. What questions would John ask, right? You could actually literally put that into a bot. Can you explain?
Exactly.
Can you explain some situations like done that? I think some stuff you've done with the diagnosing things or.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, that's great because you are doing it with your gut and with your experience. You are able to see much more wider and broader than somebody just walks in and they're very narrow because they're new in the field. So as you are saying, if you want that now to be emulated throughout the company, every new employee can also be like you. As you're seeing, you need to record that. You can record it in multiple ways. One is you take pictures and talk about it. Right now, you have a picture and then you have information to diagnose how you diagnose it. Right. So you can do it multiple times. You can do it. And then now you take the picture, you take the information that and transcription is available. Right now you are training and say, hey, here is a picture. Here is how John diagnoses it. And here is the same type of, this is another picture John diagnosed in a different way. Why did they change? So you can go back and train the data both from a picture and your resolution or what your diagnosis around that. And then it will learn after, like, if you have done it like 5 times, 10 times, the more you do it, it's the better, right? But at point, it knows exactly. And so the next person that comes in to learn, they have to just click on the picture and it knows that that's the same tree or the same shrub and say, oh, this is how you need to diagnose it. It won't even tell this is how John diagnosed. This is how you need to do it.
Yeah.
And then the first time you'll see, yeah, that's right. Or maybe you'll say there's a tweak. And then it learns again that mistake and say, oh, I need to improve. The next time you show the picture, now it improved because it had learned from the previous mistake.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think it's just amazing just how to start thinking about AI and how you can take it in so many different ways, but also there's some nice simple ways to start. So getting a consultant to make sure they're using the right tools, or you're using HVAC, plumbing, electrician, who's that expert AI? Is it Amazon Q, Microsoft Copilot, Gemini, Llama? There's so many of them now, but understanding the right tool, having the data available, knowing how you just teach it now, you're just training AI versus custom software, super important. And the fact that you can kind of download your experience and your knowledge and capture that to onboard new people amazing. It's incredible stuff. So it's
It's
neat what you're doing, Sridhar.
right.
Yeah.
Speed is important here.
Yep.
It's very fast once you start training them and adoption and things will change so fast for companies.
That's great. Well, thank you for the rest of the conversation,
Thanks.
Sridhar. I appreciate it.